Welcome to the kitchen, Dwana.
I just started off just mainly being a music enthusiast. Yeah, at that point, I mean, I was making a whole lot of whack beats, but I was really proud of it. I didn't even have my own PC up until literally in the midst when I started working with AKA, like.
What do you think of the state of, hip hop right now in South Africa, and where do you think it should go? Or like, what is your opinion right now of just the game and where hip hop is sitting?
If there's one thing for certain, especially with hip hop being involved in the convo, hip hop has accomplished the one thing that we really wanted to get right amongst the years, and that's being able to turn the culture of the music and just the entire art into business. Like for the first time now, I mean, even if there can be a new genre of song or whatever the case is that's just taking an exciting point in whatever the case is, hip-hop has gotten to a point where
I'm a piano.
I'm like the thing is, there's more sounds. Like internationally, you've got like what's the sound, man? Like this EDM-ish, whatever. I forgot what it's called, but it's something that I discovered like a week ago. What? But like, it's like a new sound in the States. Like it's got an EDM thing. I'll look for it and then we'll chat about it.
Cool.
But like, it seems like it's an ongoing evolution for music to just have a growing point. Like Amapiano is like house, but it's got a different toll within its formula and whatever. And despite all of that, as hip hop, we don't really need to depend on the music for the business anymore. Because we've tried to communicate so much that there's ventures and the market is there and we've got the fans and everything, and just business and corporates weren't really keen on taking the risk of getting involved in the culture. Now it's almost like we're first preference. So yes, they can be piano, whatever the case is, but it's like, I feel like maybe a young Casper Nyovest could do the brand and campaign just more than a whoever in my piano. And that for me is just really powerful to be like, for a brand to be able to say, yeah, this is exciting, but there's more revenue and benefit from working with these guys. And I think that's really strong and really dope.
But don't you think though, still the music is important, and the light, Martin, like the health of it, and when I say health, I mean the circulation of the music is still important. Do you think though the rappers or the culture has done enough? I don't think there hasn't been. I mean, KO is doing his thing now. Obviously about the usual suspects, but there hasn't been any breakaway kind of, or something that. Are you saying maybe it's that season, Jay, where we're just gonna take a back seat and let this one particular genre kind of do its thing, or we can't coexist?
You see, well, according to my understanding or just how I see things, music can, like, hip-hop can never take a back seat, or any genre. There's evolution in every single, music is just constant evolution. One moment hip-hop is taking the win, one moment house is taking the win, one moment Maskandi, we've had Abos Java, Mlindo, so we're from SA especially, where it seems like you understand, we in SA, and we're at a point where literally it can be anybody. Just yesterday it was Mlindo. We would have thought that that's the type of sound to move from then on, or whatever the case is. But now we've got the piano wave. But at the same time, we've got hip-hop also penetrating with the new kids. You've got people like Abo Big Hash, Patrick Lee, and all these young internet kids.
Internet sensations.
Making so I think it's just a thing of business at the end of the day. Going back to the whole business thing, I think with music, the one thing, as much as it's important to make music, obviously, that lasts the test of time and whatever the case is, but we also need to know how to move the music out there. If we're trying to grow hip hop into being something that's stable for a long time, we need to engage in conversations of how to grow the culture, not just in the sense of the music, but business wise. I mean, you get the kids, they've got their own wave going on. There's so much to learn from that. Maybe there's things that they're doing that major labels aren't doing. There's things that major labels are doing that the kids are not doing. The more we take pride in coexisting and collaborating and finding ways to just keep growing the culture of just the entire music industry, the more there's benefit for everybody.
For everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad you said that. When you say, you know, genres will come in, or there'll be seasons for different things, which leads me to a key question of here I am, Jabu Beats, Jangalala, nami ngibuye Jangalala, ngifuna ukufana no Tweezy, and I'm trying to come up. How do I find my voice, my style? Because it's easy now. I mean, like, and you know, I mean, there will be rappers who are trying to replicate the sound, try and add a little more piano swagger into hip hop, and you know, because obviously, and there's nothing wrong with that as well, because hip hop have always borrowed from different genres anyway. So, but how key is it that you'd find your own style or your own voice? And how did you find yours?
I think, and for me, this question has always been a bit tricky because I'm quite a versatile guy. You know, I can't really say Gucci, I'm a boom bap guy or I'm a trap guy, or because my passion is in music.
But you know why
overall.
I say that? There'll always be as much as you can be versatile, I'm like that as well. But there'll be that one factor though that's constant. I
think that has to do with, especially because we're from an era where we sold beats to artists or collaborated with particular artists. Both of us particularly working with a lot of hip-hop artists, because we've had a lot of hip-hop artists trying to collaborate with us just as producers. Now we're at a point where it doesn't really matter what you produce. Can you produce for me or not? So I can have a ladies Amma hitting up my line saying, look, I know that you produce hip-hop and whatever the case is. Do you do some house stuff? Yeah, I do. Okay, cool. We sit down and figure some stuff out. And then you hear now an Ayoba tag coming from a piano beat, and it's like how and it's gonna seem as if maybe I'm being an opportunist, but at the end of the day, it's music. Just as the same way we've borrowed elements from other genres, other genres have also borrowed elements from our genre. I'm an 808, I'm a piano, they use 808s and stuff, and you know, it just, the more you get experimental and open-minded with trying as much as you can, the more you can find your own unique voice and style. And now you can either choose to make that your forte, or you can just be a person that's just all-rounded. Like myself, I find passion in just being a person that's all-rounded, because it's very easy for me to firstly adapt to whatever's going on. Number two, it's very easy for me to not feel pressure if I feel like your piano is killing shit out there right now. I need to go do my piano. No, man. Hip hop is still doing amazing things just as much as gospel is, soca music and whatever. I'm actually working on some soca music.
Soca.
Like, yes, like the Afrikaans genre.
Oh, soca.
I don't know how to pronounce Afrikaans, man. My Afrikaans sucks.
Because I'm like, okay, what is this dude talking about?
soca music. So
that's
I'm
interesting,
actually,
man.
Yeah,
pretty dope, man.
Like, there's a group that just reached out to me. They're like, yo, this is something we want to do. We're actually trying to get you to be involved in the thing. And I'm like, oh shit, and let's kill it.
That's another market altogether, you know.
So back to open-mindedness, because now imagine if I'm now like, soca music. They're like actually one of the leading genres as far as publishing and like sales are concerned.
Definitely.
You know, so why the hell would I want to be closed-minded towards that? You know,
I mean, that's
you're a musician,
right,
man. Like, just as far as attitude is concerned, this has nothing to do with like the convo or whatever the case is. Actually, it does in a way, but like, I'm just overall open-minded, not just to music, but just with life. Like, I'm a person who would try things and say it didn't work out because I tried to make it work and it didn't. You know, rather than to say, no, it's not going to work because I think this and that and that. You haven't even done anything.
You know?
Because now I could mess around and now become the biggest soca music producer there is. just because I was just open to just seeing what the hell we can get to do with it. So I think as a producer, there's a level of open-mindedness that every producer needs to have, just to be able to find their own voice. And then just to end it, another most important thing is to understand how to survive as a producer so that they don't ever feel the pressure of, okay, now I need to quit hip-hop and go do amapiano, whatever the case is, because I'm not new, I need to make new beats and whatever. Money. So when they understand things like publishing or whatever the case is, they can survive and be comfortable with whatever they have to do.
That's dope, man. I think it's very key, you know, and I'm glad you've spoken about just being versatile and just staying true to whatever it is, but also not limit yourself, you know. If you feel like doing something and you are good at it, do it. Don't be bound by what everybody knows. I think the biggest thing, and I'm glad you also spoke about the life part of it, is that we're always worried with what is the next man gonna think with the Amanju omenthechef gospel. What if that's my next transition into my life and I'm genuinely want to do that, you know? So, man, you're a producer, man. Let's talk tools, brother. Let's talk the toys. What is your current setup looking like right now?
My current setup is looking like hardware. I've got 8-inch M audios, BX8, I think.
Okay.
And then I've got BX5s as well.
So you got a dual monitor setup?
Yeah, because obviously the mid-range is just for like vocals and whatever the case is.
Okay.
But now I've just upgraded to the Yamaha HS8.
Those are nice. I love those. Do you get the white ones or is it just the black?
I wanted the white ones, but it's the black ones, the standard ones. I wanted the white ones. They were out of stock. But I think I got a chance to still get them because I wanted to get like 2 and 2. So outlets, since I've got the black BX5,
the black joints.
So I'm gonna put the black ones there, then the white ones I can. Then whenever if I get to find someone who buy the blacks, I'll get the white ones again. Then it's because I like white. White is my favorite color with like the toys. I've got a what's it called? The Native Instruments. I forgot what it's called. But the one that's like right behind us, it's got the whole complete control feature thing where you can add like your massives and your machines and everything.
So you can add the Native Instrument plugins
pretty much
into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I had the machine MK2.
Where is it? Bring the machine here, Baba. Yeah.
I'm actually very heavy on Native Instruments because like.
That's your thing.
It was just my favorite thing, Jay, coming up as a producer.
This one, huh?
Okay, this is...
the micro.
Yeah, this is the micro. So the MK2 is a bit bigger.
Is it bigger?
Yeah, and it's got like 2 screens there and it's got like the sampling thing going on and stuff. So it's just a bit bigger than that. And yeah, it was one of my favorite toys. Because, I mean, it was, not only was it good for my studio stuff, but, I mean, being an artist and a performer as well, I could incorporate the thing in my set just as much as the performances and everything. So it would be like people are in my studio session. I don't have to, like, arrange
so you do, like, a whole Linkin Park type setup where you are on stage. And just triggering sounds.
Yeah, but now it's convenient because the same way I did it in studio, I'm playing it for the people instead of having to arrange it to be like that.
That's pretty awesome, man. Because I've seen, like, you know, with internet producers, with guys who do their beat making videos and you see them on Instagram or YouTube and it's just on the machine or, you know. Because me, like, we used to, when our come up was Bestanda MPC because we knew, you know, Premiere, DJ Premiere or, you know, especially the Boom Bap, who's this other OG, man? Oh, Pete Rock. Yeah. You know, that was our thing, you know, like, but we couldn't afford it because it was hardware, it was very expensive,
it was,
you know.
super expensive.
So it's amazing how Native Instruments kind of took that whole kind of notion, that market, and just made it more accessible for guys like you and me, you know.
Yeah.
You talk about being an artist, though. I remember 2016, like, you dropped a song called Ambitions, and I think then it seemed like, whoa, man, Tweezy's about to fucking smash it, like smash that button like crazily. Because now you was transitioning from being this top producer, having all the hits, and now you're moving on to being an artist. And you've dropped that single Ambitions, and you did the remix, and I think the remix went gold. Like, what went gold?
It was the original that
the
went
original
gold.
went gold, no?
Yeah.
So I mean, things are happening, and then all of a sudden, what happened? Like, because I know it kind of felt like, okay, Tweezy's coming, because you dropped a couple of videos as well, dope videos, and then it kind of felt like, okay, where's Tweezy now? What's happening? Like, what was that